Well, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, I want to thank you for coming in. My name is Shelley Olive, and I will be teaching you today on your electronic health records on how to room a patient. So a little bit about me. I'm an education consultant for the Abrion Group, and I have a bachelor's degree in nursing along with a bachelor's degree in business from DeVry University. I have over 15 years experience in the clinical environment, both front office and back office. So I'm very familiar with your works area, all your workflows. I also have 10 years of training, teaching in K through 12. I have also been volunteering for the last 15 years with youth in our community. So I feel that's also a very important part of my job is working with young people. My contact information is in your handout. As you can see, my name, phone number. Please call me if you have any questions or concerns. We're going to do a real quick meet and greet. So what I'd like for you to do is we're going to go around the room and you're going to just give me a little bit of information about yourself. I'd like to know your name, your position in your office, and what your expectations are for this class, and an experience that you have on this subject. So would you like to start for me?
Yes, Chris Johnson, and I'm with Concentra. I'm an RT, and I'm interested in learning as much as I can today to get up to speed, and I have no experience in this area.
Thank you, Chris, and welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Hello, Shelley. My name is Dwayne, and I also work for Concentra. I am also an RT like Chris. My expectation would be to learn the electronic health records to get myself into the future. So expectation should be, hopefully I'll be able to room a patient as fast as possible.
Thank
and
you,
as safely as
Dwayne.
possible.
And we'll get you there. We will get
Thank
you
you.
there.
Hi, my name is Kendall, and I'm an RT, and I work for Concentra, and I'm hoping to get up to speed with the electronic health records, and I don't have a lot of experience in the subject.
Well, we'll get you there. I promise. Thank you, Tyndall. Yes, sir.
My name is Randy Cornelson. I work for Concentra. I'm an RT also, as with other of my colleagues
A
here.
lot of RTs in here.
And as they are, I'm also getting myself up to speed on the electronic version.
Well, thank you for coming today, Randy,
you.
and we'll get you up to speed. Yes, sir.
I'm Michael Carter, and I work with the rest of these guys, and I know nothing about this software, and I need to learn it for my job, and they said, go take a class with Shelley, so here I am.
Thank you for coming, Mike, and thank you very much. We will get you there.
I'm with Concentra also, RT, and my experience for classes to learn is new great program you're going to teach.
Well, we will get you there. Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
Okay, so this class is going to be meeting Monday and Friday from 8 to 12, and as you can see, this is information, and it's in your handout about the bathrooms, the vending machines, and the fire exits on the end. And everybody, please make sure your cell phones are silent, please, because this is a very big distraction. Okay, so is everybody comfortable? Temperature okay? Does everybody have a pen?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to be handing you, so if you'll take one and pass that around, I appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. These handouts are for you to keep. Please take notes as you feel necessary. Ask questions. And if we're going to be tracking through here, doing this quickly, this is kind of the beginning of this electronic health record learning system that you're going to be learning about. The first part of this, so we're going to be taking notes as you need to. Okay, so the pre-course announcement here, this is about rooming the patient. All right, and we all have to room the patients. We know what that means, taking them in. So we're going to be learning about I Love Notes, tracking, which is very essential to how you go through this system. We're going to learn how to follow the yellow brick road. Folding is beautiful, and committing to the chart. The course prerequisites. Does everybody have their Citrix ID and password?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if you could log on to Citrix for me, I would appreciate it. Is everybody up?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, now you see your Citrix icon for all scripts. If you'll click on that icon for me, and then it will ask for your ID, which is your employee ID number. That's your user ID. And your password was given to you. If you can type that in. And since you are all RTs, you all have a clinical desktop view. Okay? For the future reference material that you will utilize in your workspace, the manual will be online for you to review at any time. You will have every workbook from every class that you go to, so you can always reference back to that. And you will also have your P3 Lights, which is your workflow that Concentra sends down from corporate. So each person in the office has a designated role to play. That's front office, back office, and then the clinicians. So you will have your specific workflows that you will follow. And then you, of course, will have e-learning at your disposal to do more information on this system, okay? All right, so the first module that we're going to be doing is the rooming of the patient. So we're going to be learning about I Love Notes, tracking, following the yellow brick road, bold is beautiful, and committing to the charts. So the objectives for this class is that I want you to focus on what it is that we're doing. I Love Notes. That is sort of a good memory moment if you can. Every time you room the patient, I love notes. Okay? That's what the steps you're going to go through. And then we're going to, once we get into the note, the tracking is essential because we're actually flowing through the software. Top to bottom, left to right. Okay? You don't want to hop all over. We're following the yellow brick road, and I will get into that. And we're going to see how we know that our information has been inputted correctly. And then we're going to be committing this information to the charts. Okay? So, the I Love Note approach. The I icon, if you look on your page, if you can see that in the upper left corner, this is the information, patient information. This is essential. We need to make sure that we have their demographic information listed, the pharmacy that they use, and then there's another section on there that's for medication history. We need their consent. This is essential for making sure that we're not giving them two medications that can contraindicate each other. If they're on Lortabs, that has acetaminophen in it. You don't want your doctor to give them another prescription of that. It's too much. It could kick them into liver failure and or an overdose situation. We're not spying on them. We don't want to know what all their meds are from all over the world. We're just trying to make sure that we are not going to give them an overdose situation. Okay? Vital sign history. Vital sign entry, I'm sorry. So this is the heart icon. Everybody see the heart icon? It's just to the right, and it's on your clinical desktop view. This is where we're going to put the vital signs. We're going to be doing temperature, pulse, respirations, blood pressure, weight, and height. Okay? And they're in yellow. Those fields are all yellow. Okay? And we can't move beyond that point till we fill in those fields. Is everybody still with me?
Yep.
Okay. And then we're going to open the note. Again, there's a note icon 2 steps over from the heart. That icon is where you will actually open a note for the patient, and then the sections you're going to be completing will become bold as you fill them in. And then the last step is committing this information to the chart. This is critical. This is their chart. This is their clinical desktop. It's just like a paper chart. You open it up and everything's there. This is a digital footprint. So everything about that patient that you have done will be in that chart. Okay?
Cool.
So who can tell me what the I is for? Yes, Chris.
Information.
Thank you. And what about that information is there? Can anybody help him out?
In regards to the information that you're going to see,
Yeah.
and the icon is related to the patient history, BMI, all that particular stuff.
The I is also where they find their demographics.
Yes.
Their address, their phone number, and all that.
What district?
So if you need to reference really quick all that information, that's where it is. But you also put in their pharmacy. You will also put in their medication history and consent. Okay? What's the heart? Who can tell me what the heart is for?
Vital signs.
Very good. And that icon stays there, and it's a real quick look, and you go, oh, that's where it is. Because there are a lot of icons on that desktop, as you can see. All right, so who can tell me what the yellow number 3 is? Yes, Kim.
Follow the yellow brick road,
Follow the yellow brick road. Why is that important?
because that is the temperature, pulse, respiration, blood pressure, weight, height.
And those are essential to rooming a patient. We have to know that information, and it has to be entered before we can move on.
Mhm.
Okay? All right, so one that we're going to do next is open the what?
No.
The note. And then the B stands for
Oh.
Bold. Bold sections are complete, and then what do we do before we leave that patient's chart?
Before you quit, you commit.
That's right, before you quit, you must commit. Okay, so again, we're just gonna review, eyes for information, heart is what?
Heart
Yeah.
vitals.
What are we gonna follow the Yellow Brick Road for?
Basically, to know if we completed a section or not. 'cause
The
we can't
vital
move
signs.
on.
Yes, very good, very good. Then we start the note with the note icon, bold. This is in page, this is in your handout. You can always reference it. Bold sections mean you've completed it, and then you commit before you quit. Okay? All right, so here we go. In the icon, the I icon. This is your information for patient address, phone, and email. You ask the permission. If you see that yellow triangle on your desktop just to the right of the I, that yellow icon caution sign will stay there until you have put in the chart, yes, you can give me, yes, I give you my consent, or no, I don't. If a patient tells you, no, I don't want to give you my medication history, what do you think you would do? Does
Say
anybody have a
thank you.
guess? Huh?
Move on.
Why? Well, and why?
Because they're not required to give it to you.
They're not required to give it to you. And if they say no, can you ask what their medication history is at that point?
No.
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 So when you get to the medication section, you can't put anything in. Okay? So that caution sign will stay lit until you say consent granted or denied. All right? And then the last area in that I icon that you're going to fill out is their pharmacy information. Tracking. Tracking is important because we want to stay on task. If we go into the note and we start hopping here and hopping there, what's going to happen? We're going to forget fields, right? So we go always left to right, top to bottom. And that way you can make sure it's an eye visual of, am I going in the right direction and I get all the fields? There's a lot of stuff on these pages, guys, and you're going to see once we start getting into this note, wow, because there's so much information you don't want to forget. Always left to right, top to bottom, okay?
Okay.
Why is it important to ask for medication history? Who can answer that question for me? Yes.
Make sure there are not any drug-to-drug interactions.
Very good, Dwayne. Thank you very much. Vital signs. Again, this is an essential part of a patient's chart. We want to make sure we get all of the vitals. Now, keep in mind, like I said, these are your part of your role is to take their information, their temperature, their pulse rate, their respirations, their blood pressure, and before you take them into the room, you're getting their height and their weight. Okay? And these are all in yellow fields. Okay? If you are asked to do more information on that patient, getting their pain scale or their pulse oximeter, those are not yellow, but they're on that field and you can still enter them. But these are the essential areas that you will have to fill in before you can move forward. Does anybody have questions about that? That's pretty cut and dry with what you're doing.
straightforward.
Pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
Yep.
Okay. So, Leonard, can you read that for me?
Do I have to enter all the fields in yellow in the vital signs areas before opening the notes? I would say yes.
Very good. And the rest of the class can help with this answer? I mean, this is an essential part of the note, right?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, the software won't let you move on until something is put.
Yes.
Okay.
Sort of.
So once we open the note, we click on the note icon, and then we start journeying down the table of contents. You must review 10 body systems before you complete that section, all right? And then what's going to happen? They're going to turn bold. They're going to turn bold. So all these sections are going to turn bold. As soon as you put in your information, you're just going to ask those questions to the patient, and then you're going to double check and make sure you didn't leave anything out, okay? What's the last thing you do?
Commit.
Commit. And I got a little rhyme for you. Before you quit, you must commit. And then all this, when you click on the commit, what's going to happen is all these things that you entered are going to be pink. And this little rhyme is there for you. When you see pink, stop and think. Because if you've made any mistakes, this is your one chance to change it before you commit it to the chart. Once you commit it, it's part of their legal document.
Okay.
And the only way to get it off is a strike through.
okay?
So we can't change that afterward.
Once you've committed
We
it,
can't wipe out what we did and
No.
correct it. We have to show the entire history.
exactly.
Okay,
Well,
I
what
like that.
happens to this is that because it's a legal document, once you've committed it to the chart, if something happens, you're like, oh, I didn't need to put that in there. You can go in and edit it and say, oh, this was entered in error. But what it'll do is show up in the record as a strike through,
Right.
which
So
is not pretty.
No,
You
but
know.
it's good because you
Yeah.
can't delete evidence and
Yeah,
find
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
You've got a trail.
Exactly.
You can track it.
It's a
Okay.
nice
Yes.
I like that
Yeah.
very much.
Yes.
Really nice.
It's sort of a double check as well, and
Yeah.
you know, this is also an opportunity for you to make, this is when you're looking at the pink and you're going, oh, I did that twice. All you have to do is uncheck that box and then it won't go into the chart. So it just makes it an opportunity for you to make double sure. Okay? So, can anybody read this for me? How about, yes, go ahead, Mike.
What is the reason we commit before we quit? It's because this is a legal document. It's our last chance to make sure we got it right before we make it a part of the official record.
Very
We
good.
want to know we got it. We got it right.
That is an awesome answer. Thank you very much for that, Mike. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're going to identify the steps. Can somebody from the class come up and help me out with this? Chris, thank you. And for the help from the class, y'all can help him out
All
here.
right. I think that
First item,
is
anyone?
info, right?
Yeah.
Or information or info? Is it info or information or does it matter?
Information,
Okay.
about the patient information,
All right.
basically. And tell me if anybody can help me out with what exactly patient information is. Like what's in it.
Address.
Demographics.
Very good. Very good.
Pharmacy.
And what else is in that I?
Pharmacy, consent forms.
Very good.
Mhm.
Very good. Very good. Okay, what's next?
I'll take this one,
Okay.
vital signs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who would like to take the next one?
Yeah.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Why is that important, Tyndall?
That's a mandatory fill, right?
Exactly.
And it has the temperature, the body weight, it has a lot of the patient information that day.
And you all remember body weight and height is how we find their BMI. So this is essential too for actual, some medications require weight. We need to know BMI before we can continue. Okay, and then what's the next field?
Alrighty, notes.
Notes.
Very good. And that's an actual visit. The note is an actual visit. That patient is there today.
Mhm.
That's their note for the day. Okay,
Okay.
keep going.
Bold is beautiful.
Absolutely. Bold is beautiful. And those fields will be bold. Okay? Because sometimes you go, oh, where was I? Yeah. And then what's the last thing we do?
You can get before you quit.
Absolutely. And what's going to happen when we commit? Do you remember?
Search in pink.
Pink.
Mhm.
And what's that? What's that? Our trigger word. When you see pink, you
Stop and think.
stop and think. Thank you so much, Chris. So let's review. We know what the I love note approach is. I love notes. And then we identify steps to open the note. Okay, what do we need to do? Follow the yellow brick road. And we make sure we do the I love, follow the yellow brick road. Then we click on the note. Bold is beautiful, tells us when we're done. Before you quit, you must commit. What kind of questions do you have for me? Yes, sir.
When we're working in the software, and there are times, and we all know this, I have 5 hours worth of work and I have 32 seconds to get it all complete in.
Right.
And you're just trying to rush and go back and forth, get everything done, but you know, with what we do, we gotta do it right the first time. We don't get any do-overs.
Right.
Bad things can happen, we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
If for some reason I forget to commit, or I hit the wrong button, is it gonna pop up with a little warning or reminder, do you really wanna quit without saving your work or something like that?
Yes, there will be a message
little
that pops
safety
up
net.
and it says, do you want to save before you leave? Now, committing is essential because if you don't commit it to the chart, it's not gonna go in the chart.
Right, there's nothing there, and we got problems.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
So we've got that nice little safety net.
There's a little safety net for you.
Just in case.
Yes, there is. And you can always save as you go as well.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay, well, the next module we're gonna cover resulting orders, and so I'm gonna let y'all go for lunch. There's a terrific Panera Bread, of course, that's my favorite, and a Chipotle across the street. So be back in an hour, and I want to thank you for coming in and learning today. Y'all been a great class, and I hope to see you soon in an hour. Thank you.
Thank you.